Okay, so here we are, about a week and a half away from my hearing on July 18th. I apologize for the video quality. It's gonna be sucky because I'm trying to keep my data plan thing low so I can upload it so people can watch it. Okay. Again, this all started because Meadowbrook Tracy Elder let me go on a visit to my family. I'm being punished for it because the day before, on December 22nd, apparently an addendum was added. I left on the 23rd, went and stayed with my family and my friends who have children for a week, and nobody informed me that this was in place. Nobody informed me of anything. Never got papers until February 20 something. I can't, 21st, I think. So, okay. This is what they started. I was supposed to have a hearing on June 21st, and this was what the paper said for it. And of course, this was filed back March 7th, and I since filed, I think in February, I sent to the Department of Justice, February something. Again, I'll have to look. About my kosher diet and how these people weren't, Meadowbrook was not adhering to it, was not allowing me to have my kosher diet, Messianic Jewish. I told them how they were trying to retaliate because the second I come up with it, I made a video on Facebook, on YouTube, and the second I came up with this video, like 4 days later, I get pulled in and told I violated my conditional release. Oh God, it was almost 2 months ago. If they had the papers, if they had the knowledge, and the fact that I emailed Tracy on December 10th and specifically asked her about this, if this was in place, and she told me it wasn't. Okay, let me read you this one paper. This is from it's from May 31st to set the hearing for the 21st of June. Here comes now Kara Bacon, Assistant District Attorney, and moves this honorable court to revoke the order of conditional release. In support thereof, the state sets forth the following. The defendant was charged with count 1, child abuse by injury, and count 2, child abuse by injury with the District Court of Grady County, case number blah blah blah, on April 7, 2011. The court issued an order on the 9th day of March 2012, finding the defendant not guilty by reason of insanity to the aforementioned charges, and thereafter the defendant was committed to the care, custody, and control of the Oklahoma Department of Mental Health and Substance Abuse Services. On the 31st day of May 2012, the court issued another order considering the defendant's dangerousness to the public. In his order, the court found that the defendant is presently a danger to the public peace or safety as defined by Section 1103, Title 43A of the Oklahoma State Statutes, and should remain in the custody of the Department of Mental Health and Substance Abuse. Following the Forensic Review Board meeting on July 29, 2015, the defendant was recommended for conditional release to Meadowbrook Residential Care Facility in Howe, Oklahoma. The state of Oklahoma requested additional conditions, which were incorporated into the conditional release plan, which was filed with this court on December 22, 2015. The additional conditions were as followed. No contact whatsoever with victims in Grady County court case, blah blah blah, AK and JK, or any child under the age of 18, regardless of whether contact is supervised. Any violation of this condition shall be immediately reported to the court and shall be grounds for revocation of conditional release. In a letter dated March 1st, 2016, Kevin Finley, the dude who let me out early, pushed me out the door. 30 minutes to pack. Didn't get to say goodbye, didn't get to go over papers, nothing. Kevin Finley of the Oklahoma Forensic Center notified this court of a violation of the defendant's conditional release. Mr. Finley's letter details that over the holidays, the defendant was in contact with young children. Attached to the letter are photos of the defendant with these children, which were uploaded on a social media site. Let's go over that real quick. At OFC, it is a violation of their policy and a violation of HIPAA for anybody at OFC to even look at my Facebook. Anybody. It is a violation of HIPAA for them to get a phone call from anybody on the outside that does not have a paper for me saying that I am allowing them to tell them anything or say anything to them. It's a violation of HIPAA. I've gotten them on this before. They've had 4 federal violations over something like this because they stopped me from going to my mother's funeral because they talked to a family member who didn't want me there. My grandmother wanted me there. They also stopped me from talking to my grandmother for a month over the whole thing. My grandma didn't even know. When I finally called her after they stopped watching me on the phone, she's like, what is going on? I'm like, hey, you should ask so-and-so. So, got them on those federal HIPAA violations. And so apparently now, they're doing it again. Let's go on. Therefore, the defendant has violated the terms and conditions of his conditional release. His, I'm a her. And the state of Oklahoma respectfully requests her immediate detention. Wow. Yeah, this was filed like March 7th. It's, what, July 8th? Yeah, immediate detention. Blah, 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 blah. Wherefore? Yeah, blah, blah, blah. Wherefore, the state of Oklahoma respectfully requests that this honorable court revoke the order of conditional release, order immediate detention, blah, 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 blah. Certificate of delivery, March 7th, 2016. Okay. So, I file everything. Goes through everything. I turned everything in, like, in April, because it took a process. I get a letter. May 13th. It was certified. It was delivered and signed for by this facility May 6th. I got it a week later. Stating that HUD is investigating this facility for their violations of my civil rights because they're violating the Civil Rights Act by not allowing me my kosher diet. Okay, this is May. Okay, now let me tell you something I did. And I did it to protect myself because once they started claiming I violated my conditional release, I had an email I sent to this director here asking her because her secretary told me to send it, gave me the email address and everything. I sent an email saying, what am I supposed to do? Because I found something on my on-demand court records, a letter of no contact from the DA. I said, what is this? I don't know what it is. I don't have it. I have no record of it. Will you tell me what this is? Will you please? Can I still go on my visit? Is this no contact with my kids? I thought that was established. There's no contact with all kids. What is this? She knew I wanted to go to see my niece and nephew. She knew. That's the whole reason for the visit. The whole reason. My niece was born in August. She ended up having surgery in December. I wanted to see my niece. I'd seen my nephew since he was 10 months old. I'd been on several visits to my grandmother's because of her health was deteriorating, and I had several emergency visits to go see her. I saw family. I saw my sister. I saw my nephew from the time he was 10 months old. There was no issue. I'm not dangerous. I'm not dangerous to anybody. I've proven that. But, again, let's go back to March, April. I had no proof that Tracy answered my email or anything. So, since it was verbally, she answered me and told me I was fine. I could go. She had no papers on it. She had nothing on it. So, therefore, if she didn't have anything signed by the judge, I could go on my visit. It was fine. I went. Tracy Elder let me go. She sent me. My stepbrother, Curtis Aubrey, called her. Because I stayed with him. Asked, in the last question he asked, is there anything else I need to know? And she told him no. Amy Howell came and picked me up. Had to talk to Tracy on the phone. Never said a word to her over any of it. So I went on my visit. Okay. Had no proof, absolutely no proof that I had, she'd answered this or, that she told me I could go. I think proof is obvious I went. If, me not acknowledging the fact that I saw something that I didn't know what it was and, if she would have looked into that and, oh my gosh, this you obviously didn't know about this, that should have happened. It didn't. I began recording. I specifically looked up state laws. I remembered from previous experiences that it is legal to record a conversation in the state of Oklahoma as long as one party is knowledgeable to this conversation. The only conversations I recorded were conversations with the owner's wife, who was my therapist, and the owner's brother-in-law, who was the doctor. The reason I recorded one with him is because he's an arrogant little... And he put me on medications without my knowledge. Back in December, he put me back on Topamax. That gives me very high anxiety and irritability. I'm sitting there in December for 3 weeks going, what the hell is wrong with me? Asking what this extra med is in my cup. I'm getting told it's an allergy pill. It was Topamax. I went off of Topamax almost 4 years ago. because it was making me really irritable. It was really, really, I feel like just like Jekyll and Hyde thing. And I have this with a bunch of medications, actually. And depressants depress me. I mean, and anxiety, some of them really make me anxious. So I started recording him because, again, this is a part of my conditional release. If I refuse medications, oh my God, I'm going to lose it. Okay. So after they get the letters from HUD, I've recorded all this stuff. They found out about it because I've turned it into HUD. They're retaliating against me. I have this, because I recorded conversations in which Jennifer was telling me, oh, well, now you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't go with your friend, you can't have any overnight visits, even to Florida County, if there aren't kids involved. You can't do this, that, or the other, all because I turned them in. And they turned me in for doing something that was their fault. So then I was being punished. And plus, I got her to say on recording that this was a private facility. They don't have to follow federal law. So yeah, HUD's investigators have those. So in May, whatever, beginning of June, the advocates came in, talked to everybody. Tracy Elder, Jennifer Cox, all of them all agreed. We would work to get me a discharge in July. We would just let this ride out in the courts, what have you. Tracy, behind everybody's back, goes and writes a letter to OFC saying, I'd been recording everybody. They were refusing me services. Of course, the doctor fired me. He prescribed me a medication, not PRN. He went from a PRN to a, you have to take this twice a day, Ativan. It drugged me out and zombied me. So yes, I stopped taking it. I wouldn't take it. I wouldn't. Because I could not even stay awake. I literally slept. Also, I have migraines. You guys know this. I have severe migraines. I had a car accident. I have pseudotumor cerebri, where fluid pressure builds up in my brain. You guys have been through this with me. I've had how many spinal taps? They're holding that against me. So she put in this letter that I recorded staff. The counselors and the doctor were refusing services. The only one refusing services at this point was the doctor, because he's an arrogant little bastard. And that I was not going to group and was not taking my routine medications. Lies. All lies. So this is what the court filed on the 24th, 24 or something. Anyway, they supplemented it. Okay, it comes now, blah, 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 blah. In addition to the allegations contained in the motion to revoke conditional release March 7th, the state follows, blah, blah, blah. The defendant was ordered as a condition of a release to participate in outpatient treatment through Meadowbrook outpatient treatment. The defendant has not attended outpatient treatment as ordered. That the defendant has recorded conversations between herself and counselors as well as herself and doctors, resulting in the discontinuation of services previously provided by counselors and doctors. And the defendant has refused to prescribe medication on a routine basis. And again, we go through, let's pull her. Well, guess what? Lies. Also, Tracy Elder pretty much committed larceny in April in Arkansas. Look at that. Tracy Elder. Shoplifting. Fort Smith. Yeah. Okay, I'll make some more videos later, but I just kind of wanted to go over some facts with everybody so that when you go to the courtroom, you know what's going on. Because this video is about to run down.